Hello everyone, welcome back to the Overseas Indian channel. Today we will talk about how to get a driving license in New Zealand. Now I'll be talking only about a motor car license, alright, not about any other vehicle for ease of the video. So I have a full driving license here in New Zealand. So from my experience and whatever information I have, I will guide you on how to get a driving license here. The first thing you need to remember is that there are two categories of obtaining a driving license. First, converting an overseas license to the New Zealand license, or the second step, the second way is getting a New Zealand license from scratch if you have never had a driving license before in any country. So I'll talk about us coming from India. So if you have a driving license back in India and you come here, you can convert your Indian license to a New Zealand driver's license by the following steps. You got to firstly apply for a learner's exam, that is the theory exam, so that you are able to pass and get your learner's license. And in order to successfully pass the learner's license exam, you have to read well the theory of driving here in New Zealand. So you have a driving guide in New Zealand which you can find on the transport agency website, or you can even purchase it at any of the AA stores. Now AA is Automotive Association New Zealand, so they are tie up with the New Zealand Transport Association, and they are the official transport agency centers where they will test your biometrics before you give your theory exam. So once you are thorough with your theory, you give the learner's license, that is the theory exam. It's a 35 question exam where you have to get 32 questions right. So basically if you get more than 3 wrong, then you fail the exam and you have to just give it again sometime. So once you pass the theory exam, you get your learner's license. On this learner's license, you have to drive under supervision only with someone who has had a New Zealand license for at least 2 years, or you should have a driving instructor with you. So it is best to have a driving instructor and get a good idea of the road rules here in New Zealand, or you can even travel with one of your friends or practice if you have friends here in New Zealand. So once you're fully thorough with your driving practice, you're really confident behind the wheel and know all the rules properly, then you are ready to give your full license exam. So you can book the full license exam online on the New Zealand Transport Agency website, and then go ahead with it. Now during the full license exam, again you have to be always well prepared and always listen to the driving examiner who's sitting with you. And one thing the driving examiner may do is ask you questions about the hazards you will see on the road. So it's quite a interesting exam, so you have to be sure that you are really well prepared before you go for it. Once you have passed the full license practical exam, you get your full license. So that's done there. Alright, now we'll talk about the individual who does not have a driving license at all. So if you have never driven before in India, for example, then you need to definitely start from scratch here in New Zealand if you are here already and you want to drive. So the steps are as follows. You need to learn your theory well, give your learner's exam again, similar to the overseas conversion, but then there is an intermediate step in the learner's in the learning from scratch process. So what you have to do is you have to go through a practical training and then apply for a restricted driving license. Now, the restricted driving license is an intermediate step towards getting a full license. That is, if you're doing it from scratch here in New Zealand. Once you get your restricted driving license here in New Zealand, then you have to wait for another 6 months, and then you can give the full license exam. Now there is a way of shorting that process. So you can do a defensive driving course once you have your restricted license. Then once you have finished the defensive driving course and passed, then you can give your full license exam much quicker. So all in all, the licensing process for someone doing it from scratch in New Zealand can take at least a year long, or even longer than that, depending on the person. So that is a much more tedious process. So I would suggest the best way to go ahead is getting your license overseas from India first, and then coming here and converting your Indian license to a New Zealand license. That's how I did it, and it was really very convenient. Alright my friends, I hope you found this video helpful. If you found it helpful, please like, subscribe to my channel to help me. Please share this video to anyone who may need this, and also feel free to comment and post your suggestions so that it will help me make more videos which can help you. Thank you and have a great day, guys. Have a good one.